Next page in our folder is the testimonial page. So we need to have some information here that's going to raise the credibility of what we're doing and answer some common questions. So if you can think about typical problems that your customers find that your product can solve, you can answer them with a testimonial. Or if you can find a host or a customer who had a particular problem, something that crops up a lot, that you're continually seeming to have to answer. We call them objections. They could be called objections. But find someone that's had that problem and had it solved and get them to write a couple of sentences about it. So people will be sitting there flicking through the folder or through your party, and they'll have questions in their mind that they're not asking you. But you'll know that they are there because they come up so commonly. So this is where you can answer them without even having to speak. So I've got a couple of examples here. I just made these up. Here's one. I'm not really a party plan person, so when I agreed to have a party for Mary, I was a bit nervous. I was surprised that it was so much fun, and I received $200 worth of free product. I got all the things I wanted, and I didn't have to pay for them. So that somebody who's sitting there going, oh, I'm not really a party plan person, don't really know if I'd be any good at hosting a party. When they get to this page and they read that, this might just help them. It just answers that problem for them. Here's another idea. I've battled for years to try and solve my skin problem. I must have spent thousands of dollars. Who would have thought I could have found the most amazing product at a party? ABC Skincare has saved my skin, is saving my wallet and giving me more confidence to be out in public. The 30-day money-back guarantee gave me the confidence to try it. So that actually covers probably quite a few objections that you could possibly come up about. And I've got one last little example here. Mary made organising my party so easy for me. I'd never held one before and didn't know what to do. She made it fun and my friends had such a great time. So just a few things like that. You don't need many of them, only a few. Your company probably puts out some marketing information that's got some testimonials from consultants as well, probably more geared towards recruiting. So see if you can add some of these in here as well. People like to read things from other people. Now, when you ask someone to write a testimonial, I haven't put anybody's names there because I just made this up, but you would always include someone's name with their permission. If they don't want their name included, then use just some initials or their first name and then where what town they're from, perhaps. But when you ask someone to write a testimonial, there's a bit of a risk that they're going to write something that's actually not usable. So what you can do is actually write it for them based on what you think they might write. And then once you've written it, show it to them and ask them if they're willing to put their name to it. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's something that you know actually happened for them and that this is probably what she would say. Makes it easy for her, she's happy, and she didn't have to do anything. Now the other thing here, you might even want to add an extra page in, that there could be press releases or there could be newspaper or magazine articles where your products have been featured. So if so, put those in here as well. So you can see that we're kind of building the story, but we're also sandwiching. So the business information's in the middle, and then on either side of it is other stuff. So the last page in the folder will be only for people who have products that might be a little bit technical. So where you have a product where people ask a lot of questions about scientific background, it's important that you avoid talking too much about it at the party, because although it might be interesting for the person who asked, it's actually probably quite boring for everybody else, because most other people are just happy to accept that what they see is what they get. So if somebody asks you some scientific question, you can maybe just very quickly give a very, very short answer, and then say something like, look, if you want to read a little bit more about some of the technical information, in the party folder that I'm going to pass around later, you're going to find some answers towards the back. So that means that now you don't have to give a science lesson, which to some people would be quite a turn-off. And it also means that there's another reason for someone to need to look in the folder. So maybe this person wasn't really interested in the theme parties, but wanted to look at the technical information. There's a reason for them to pick it up, and as they flick through it, what do they see? They're going to see the business information. So you'll probably almost never be asked for this stuff, but it doesn't hurt. And just think about how switched on you're going to look when you can just suddenly produce all this information. Don't make it too complicated though.